Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And I'm here. I'm doing some catch up. This week I want to do some catching up on more movies from this year that I missed. I think I'm getting close, and then more comes out. And we're talking about Bone Lake. And I had a choice. I could have got both, but I was like, it's him or Bone Lake. And I'm like, this is one I actually really wanted to watch. I follow Maddie Hassan on Instagram. She's been hyping this movie up. I saw the trailer. I was in. And then it was cheaper. And then there's him, which I would only be getting to review it, and then I don't know. So I chose this. So I probably won't be doing him unless it comes to streaming before the first of the year. But yeah. So this movie is it's a premise very similar. Really think about it. This couple, they go to this cabin, this house on a lake, on Bone Lake, and they rented the place. And after they get there, a little while, they see that another couple has also rented out the place. And while, yes, this setup is very Barbarian, and while Barbarian, they made a little twist on this. This one is a straight up, there's something wrong with these two, and something's going on. You know, even the movie Beach House had a similar premise, where it's like this young couple shows up, and there's this older couple, and is one of them? No, there's something else there that comes after them. This is very, I don't want to say generic, but it's a very obvious way that things are going to go. And you're watching this, and you're watching the situations that this couple is putting this other couple in, and you're like, okay, when is the other foot going to drop? When is it going to, when is it finally going to end this game? When it does, okay. But it's just when it does actually end, it's very matter of fact, like, oh, yep, this is what's going on. And then there's some reveals. And yeah, why is it I always itch when I'm on record? Fine, and then I go record, and I got itch. Alright, so we have our main couple. So this movie is weird. Okay, because the marketing to this, the trailer and everything, very sensual, very sexual. And there is certainly that in the movie. That's certainly in the movie. There's certainly a aspect of that in this movie. But I feel like it's not enough. Remember when I did Suitable Flesh? And I complained because it was a very sexual movie, but everyone was fully clothed the whole time. That's to a lesser extent here, as you do see nudity, you do see some nakedness, but it's never overt, even though the back of the box says, the back of the case says, explicit nudity or graphic nudity. Oh, that hurt. I did it. It says graphic nudity. And that's really... And when I saw it says graphic nudity, I'm like, okay. Stupid it can go. You can have... There's an explicit sex scene. Or they use it for something. Especially when they say graphic. Where it's like... We're going to use this as... a graphic scene. And that's what they did. It's only one scene. It's like when I was younger and I watched The Crow and there was nudity in that, and I asked if there's nudity in other ones, and my friend's like, yeah, in the second one, and it's just a guy's ass. I'm like, that's not what I meant. Yeah, you get that here, where you get the start of this is a couple running through the woods, and really this really has nothing to do with the rest of the story, because it's just a story that Diego is telling. But it's this naked couple, and they're running, and there you see boobs, but you don't really see much until after she's dead and she's laying there. You see it, and you see his ass. You see an arrow go through his cock and balls. Ow. And then she falls on a piece of wood, which I don't know why movies think we're made of jello. Because you fall on a piece of wood like that, it's not gonna cut through you. I don't know, but it's a movie. This turns out to be a story being told by Diego, who is one of our main couples. Diego. Why do I forget names? Diego and Sin. No, that's the other one. Sin and Will. I remember them. No, Diego and Maggie. No. Does it say on the thing? Pardon my underwear. I'm comfortable. Of course it doesn't say on the back of the case. Well, let me look at it quick. Nothing. Nothing. So I already have my Xbox turned off, but I didn't take the thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up quick. Get it? Just for shits. What's his name? Diego. Which is an easy name to remember because Diego, go, or whatever. Go up further. Not Bon Jovi. Bon Lake. Alright. Sage. Yes, I know a sage. I thought I got that wrong. Anyway, so Diego and Sage, they're going up to this cabin, or a lakeside country house is what it says. But you turn off that they've rented, and so you see he's like a novelist. He writes stuff. I turn off the LTV too, and it's where he's kind of quit his regular job to just write, and so she's bringing in all the money because he's having a hard time writing. It's one of those kind of relationship sort of situations, and so they're going to this lake house to sort of relax and everything. And of course, the first thing they do when they get there is have sex. It's very weird though, because, and I know a lot of people will hear something like this and go, "You're just the perfect. You just want to see boobs. You just want to see tits." It's not just that. Yes, I'd like to see them, but it's not why I complain about this thing. I hope you guys understand the way they present people. When you have couples or whatever, people having sex in movies, and people are clothed, partially clothed, whatever. Nobody likes to have sex with clothes on. And you have this scene, and I get it. Mehdi Hasan probably don't want to show nudity. But there's a clever way where they kind of cover up where they're in between their bodies are. There's like a table there or something. But she's got her bra on. And it's just like, it's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's not realistic. Especially when the other couple shows up and you just see them naked. Though they don't show anything, which, like, and that's another thing. You barely see any, it's like one nipple, maybe barely see any nudity at all besides the opening scene. So if they could do that, why not just get a body double for her and you just see it from behind or something? At least it'll make it look like they're both naked. Or maybe it was an idea like their relationship is kind of, it's not that it's rocky, it's that she explains later that she's not able to have an orgasm because she's stressed from being the one that does all the money. And later she's using a gyrating shower head to masturbate later. Yeah, after this happens, then the couple shows up. Oh, we double booked. So it's always one of those things where it's one of those twist revealed later kind of thing. Where you're trying to figure out, okay, how do you do this, how do you do that. They seem to explain everything in this movie later, except for how were they able to fake it when they showed them that they signed up for this house. They say it's on 2 different websites, so is it a fake website they used to show them? But of course, because the movie would not happen if they just said, no, we'll leave, you stay. No, they just decide to share the place. And then the fun and games being because almost immediately you get, like, obviously they're flirting with each other. The guy's flirting with Sage. Will's flirting with Sage. The name's Will and Sin. Sin is flirting with Diego, that sort of thing. There's a scene where, like, Sin is in a towel. And again, she's in a towel. And then later he's like, oh, he walked in on me and I was in a towel. And I'm like, and she's like, he didn't tell you? And I'm like, she's like, no, he didn't. And I'm sitting here going, why would he? Now, I'm not saying, like, I walked in on her, she's in a towel. She was in a towel. It's not like I walked in on her, she was naked. Right? Like, she's in a towel. And he didn't do anything. And I'm kind of his side here. He didn't do anything wrong. He walked in, saw her in a towel. She's like, oh. And she's like, can you get my glasses? Nothing really happened. Right? Looking for her glasses or whatever. Which she didn't have. She just tried. But if she was naked, it'd be like, I could understand where it would be almost, oh, why didn't he say anything? If she was naked and he walked in and he'd be like, then he'd be like, oh, I didn't say anything. I think it was a big deal. Big deal, she was naked. But now it's like, well, she's in a towel. Who cares? She was in a towel. It's almost like she was fully clothed. Right? It's not like, even if you walked in her underwear, it would be worse compared to she was just in a towel. Everything is covered. Like, everything is covered up. Everything. Right? There's also, like, a scene later where Will and Sage are driving to get more food at the market or something, and he pulls over and she's like, what are you doing? He's like, where you want this to go? You want this to do? And I'm like, what? Right. And then, like, when they come back, he's like, so what did you and Sin do? He's like, oh, we just had small talk. She hates small talk. I get that they're, trying to do this, but I don't understand that dialogue, I guess. I don't know. Then they decide they want to play a game where they go into the locked doors of the house. And so the first one has some, it's like a sex dungeon, sex toys and stuff. And even before we get to the next door, I'm just like, so it's their house? I'm like, they're like, hey, look at that. And they're like, they go to the next door, and we get our backstory. This used to belong to the Price family, and the matriarch or patriarch disappeared, and their 2 children are in the wind or something, or they died. Hold on, let me look that up quick. Will you turn on? I don't know why it's being a pain in the ass. It's like, and there's several disappearances that have occurred, so they don't explain it in this thing. Here, the parents are dead. The 2 are dead. So I'm like, so are they, and their kids have disappeared or something, and I'm like, are they the kids? No, they're a couple. It doesn't make any sense. Oh boy. We'll get to it. So it turns out that Diego has planned to propose to Sage, and Will happens upon him with the ring, and he shows him, it's my grandmother's ring, and he's like, that thing. And then Will just takes the ring and proposes to Sin with it. Right? It's like, so he took it out of the car, because he's like, I'm going to propose to her in 2 days at the lake or something. And, so he's like, he proposes to Sin, he's like, I was going to do it somewhere romantic, like, out on the lake or something, but I want to be spontaneous. And then when Diego, for some reason, Diego decides to pull him aside and talk to him in private. And this is where, something messes with you, because it's like, okay, a normal person would freak out and go after this guy publicly. He wouldn't pull him in privacy, pull him in privately, is what I'm trying to say. No, it would. But with the movie, you either can't do that, or if you do that, you have to do it in a way where it would be one of those overdone ways where he gets mad and reveals that that's his, but then it gets kind of thrown around and make it look like he's lying. And I don't think that's what they want to do. Will they toy with this couple, kind of being mad at each other? By the time you get to the climax of the film, they've sort of gotten back on the same page. It's all kind of come out in the grievances. It's very weird that he never once tells Sage that it's his ring. Later, when they start to come out and everything, they start, tell. She's like, what's it called? I can't come or something. I can't have an orgasm. And then they kind of talk about the problems and everything. But never once is he like, the ring he used to propose is my grandmother's ring. I was going to propose to you. And then at the end, when he takes the ring off of Sin's finger and gives it to her, proposes to her, it's like, but she didn't know that was your ring. He never explained it. So now it's just you taking this ring off a dead woman's hand and giving it to her. There's no explanation. So they start to realize that something is off. And it's when Sin offers her a Molly. It's like, okay, something's not. Like, she doesn't take the Molly. She's faking it, and there's something going on. But it turns out they have cameras. And the fact that they find out that they're being recorded doesn't stop them from the fact of just, like, they know that there's cameras filming them, and they just decide to keep, like there's cameras filming us, what we do, and then they get out of there, and at another point, they get knocked out and taken back into the house, and that's where we get our exposition. But then it's like, after they leave the room, it's like, okay, what do we do? And it's like, obviously they left the room to watch you on the cameras. Why are you talking about a plan right now? But no, it's after they get woken up that we get our exposition dump. They are the children of the Price family, the Price couple that was murdered. They were having an incestuous relationship. Always a joy. I mean, it's one thing in adult films where it's applied to be step brother and sister, but never. And even if it is a brother and sister thing on they're actors. These are actors too. But when it's presented as its real thing, it's kind of, yeah. When the parents found out that they were being incestuous, they killed them, and they've been killing every couple that's come up here as some sort of test or something. I don't know. And it's one of those things where it's like, I kind of want to see the other times that this happened. But you're kind of glad it's a one and done. Unlike another movie, Influencer, I won't go into spoilers with that, but that kind of got me. And the movie Fresh, which I reviewed earlier this year, in October, was another one where it's like, they've been doing this. he's been finding women and cutting off their body parts, and you get kind of a glimpse in that, but you kind of want to see more of that. But then that sort of ends after that movie, and the only way to continue is for the bad guy to win, and you don't want the bad guy to win. Sometimes movies do that. So, I don't know. This is not one of them, though, because, it goes, so there's a scene I'm sitting here very befuddled about, because it's just like, he's like, okay, I'll give you the count of 3. Will says this, and you swing. Take a swing at me. Ready? 1. Just do it! 2. Come on! Do it! 3. You couldn't do it. I'll give you one more try. Ready? 1. You know she's gonna do it this time, so there's gotta be a way, because they're not just gonna let you kill him like that. So instead of going like this, like she should, she goes like this, which she's able to just whiff off. I'm like, why would you swing like that? He even says, put it in my head. You go like this. How many horror movies have I seen you do that? And I would love it for it to be 1, 2, 3. No, because we gotta have this chase scene. Eventually, he gets. I don't have the tissues up here. Eventually, he gets his. Then it's down to Sin, who attacks them on the boat. But she gets killed. And then, like I said, they're left. They're all covered in blood. He takes the ring. He proposes to her. They have a laugh. And, yeah. And also, there's that moment when you gotta really think about it. When they reveal the brother and sister, you're like, oh. And then you sort of think about it. Because they don't really go into it at first. It's like, oh. You're like, wait a minute. They showed a sex scene. Oh. It's one of those, oh. And if you're afraid, you're like, ooh. Not me. It's like, ugh. I don't know. I'll give it a middle of the road. It was fine. It wasn't bad. It's one of those that bears a rewatch. Sometimes you get those kind of movies where it's like, if I rewatch it, maybe I'll get more out of it. We'll see. But I wanted to kind of... This was one I wanted to have in here over him. Because I just feel... I don't know. I'm more interested in it than him. Like, people were hyping him. And then the reviews come out afterwards, and it was not very good reviews. I'm like, well, I don't know if I really want to waste my time on it then. You know? Maybe eventually I will, but not right now. So, what are your thoughts on Bone Lake? New comes on, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.